exclusive shit right here. What's going on, everybody? Chad Arms TV, and we are back. I don't want to say we are here, we are back, because 6 years ago, me and the guy across the table here, we did an interview, and we're back again, man. This is my boy Upchurch, Ryan Upchurch. What's up?
What is up, Skin? It's been a while.
Man, it's been a while for sure. But it was dope, man, because you know you hit me up saying you wanted me to come interview, and that meant the world to me, bro. Just because us doing what we did before, and just having a dope history before, you know what I mean? It's just cool.
Oh, yeah. I was fucking binge watching your videos, and I was like, you know what? I'm hitting up Chad, see if he'll come over and do a fucking interview, man. Yeah. Because you already have one from when was that? It was
It was 2015, bro, because it was when you dropped the Cheatham County EP.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Pulled up in West Nashville, baby. What's up, Chad on? That was awesome.
Yeah, so we're just this will be a series of stuff, man, kind of like we've done the stuff with Worm, we've done the stuff with Jelly. It'll be the same similar style. We're just gonna touch on different things, and
yeah, we're
gonna let my boy just speak his mind, man. He let me know that we can ask away, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna start off the interview, man, just by asking you, who is Ryan Upchurch?
Man, Ryan Upchurch is just a dude that was born in fucking Nashville one night, growed up around here, sang songs about this place. Nothing really special. Just a fat, tatted up redneck that got a bunch of kitchen tattoos and sang about around here. Yeah. That's about it.
Yeah, man, like you've talked about before, I know that you said you started doing music when you was in high school, correct? And then once that came along, did you take a break from music and then start doing the comedy stuff, or wasn't that just like a random video you shot or something?
Yeah, man, like I dabbled with music in high school, and then I was like, I had everybody around me telling me that ain't gonna fucking work, you're never gonna amount to nothing, yada yada. So I was like, man, maybe they're right. So put it down for a little bit, and then after high school I started working construction every day, trying to make ends meet. Hell, I was living in a little shack I was renting from Steve Bass on Indian Springs Road. And I was like, how do you know if you don't fucking try? You just gotta fucking try. Right. So, on the job site, I was making videos and shit of fucking with the workers and stuff. And, people liked it on Vine. And then next thing you know, here I am writing songs about all this shit. It's my job now.
And so, like, the cool thing about your story, too, is, like we talked about, but again, some people may not have seen that interview, but you said the video, as far as the video portion, because it all kind of was, you were doing kind of both at the same time, correct? Well, wasn't it like a random video that you recorded one night and then you didn't even upload it yourself?
Yeah, I ended up, I made a funny video. I think it was on Vine at the time, and it got took from there and just shared everywhere. And then the next thing you know, it's one video after the other, keeping these people engaged with what I'm doing, just trying to be funny, and people thought it was funny. So, which really, it's not even me trying to be funny. It's just I have a goofy, like, dumb squirrel personality anyway. Right. So I can get on there and really do anything, and they'll be like, "Look at this fucking idiot!" Like, But it's just everyday to day shit.
And it just kind of snowballed after that. Like, you started doing that, and then you were like, "Well, it's obviously something that people like." So I guess you just kind of kept it rolling.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and then before you know it, it was way higher than you was expecting it to be, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And then you just
for a long time, I focused on the videos and shit, and because it was fun to do. But now I'm 30 years old and I'm not as crazy as I used to be. I'm not as wild. I don't. I pay taxes and shit now. I'm fucking own a business, and back then I didn't give a fuck. I was just out wilding.
Yeah.
So.
That's dope, man. So like you started off. And you, in 2015, 2016, and then you started seeing the music really start to, you knew that you were popular with the Vine stuff and the video stuff. Did you think when you started dropping music alongside of it, did you think it would do the same numbers, or were you kind of nervous about it when you first dropped it? Like wondering?
Man, I was. The first project I dropped, I was nervous because I was like, man, maybe everybody's going to not like this music and then turn around and not be interested in my funny videos no more, or maybe doing the music will work and then I'll start getting attached to that, and then people will get mad at me for not doing videos.
Right.
It was a million different thoughts, to be real.
Yeah. Well, it worked out for sure, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, the discography is deep, man. Are you sitting on like what, close to 20 albums or EPs? Or I know it was 17 or 18. It was close. It was a lot.
And that's an honest answer. Like, I don't want to be that guy who's people are like, oh, well, he's big dicking or something. No, I really don't know.
No, you just be putting out music,
because
bro.
I just like putting it out and slinging it behind me and just keep moving, you know?
Yeah, moving to the next one, yeah, for sure. Of all the albums that you did, like, I know that, do you have a certain one that just you remember the most as far as that had a really special vibe to it that kind of stands out to you? You've made a lot of dope stuff over the years, whether it's rock or rap or country, but was there something out of one of those projects that you, maybe just the recording of it or just something about it that just sticks out more than some of the other ones?
Yeah, I would say that would have to be, I think my Turning Point album that was real sentimental to me was probably Parachute. Because that's the first album I got to do a feature with my mom.
Yeah,
and you know, we wrote a song about you know, people who are maybe at their lowest point in life, because me and my family have been at our lowest point in life with each other. And as long as if you can hit that bottom point and be at rock bottom, but if you're at rock bottom with somebody you see as a rock in your life, you'll get out of that rock bottom. And that's another thing I feel like in country music is fading away, which is family values and caring about stuff like sitting at a fucking dinner table without the phones and talking to someone else. You know, we got to get back to the realization, and that's what the song Fallen is about. And not to mention, it's got my mom on it, who's a beautiful singer, has a beautiful singing voice. And that was our song to the people who think they're at rock bottom, so it was real special for that reason. Not only that, that's the song that HollerBoy is on, which is like the Upchurch, the country boy anthem right now.
For sure, bro, for sure. And then the Parachute song, the Parachute song is from you, is my favorite song you've done.
Thank you, man.
I really dig that one a lot, man.
That song's about making it to the top and figuring out that the top's not all it's fucking cracked up to be.
For sure, for sure. Influences, I know you've probably got a lot of different styles of influences, and it probably depends on what you're doing. I know when you do the rock stuff, the Creeker stuff, you really dig into Alice in Chains and stuff like that. So like with your country, as far as that, like in rap, what would your influences be for some of that stuff whenever you start to?
My influences for country, it's a little bit of what everybody knows and a little bit what no one knows. Right. Like, you know, I do like the older Luke Bryan songs, like the song That's What Country Is. Yeah. You know, which tells about, it's a song about, hey, y'all, everybody's thinking country is the Bass Pro shit and yada yada, when really it's not. It's this old school shit over here. Yeah. You know, Tim McGraw, like the Red Rag Top, When the Stars Go Blue, stuff like that. Clay Walker, which was awesome because I got to end up doing a song with him. On the new album. Justin Moore. That's the side of country that I listen to more, is like the 90s and early 2000s. But then again, you can go back and I listen to Mark Chestnut, Bubba Shop Jukebox. For sure. And I even go far back as I listen to Buck Owens. And if y'all don't know Buck Owens, look up the song Ruby. So it's a wide range, but it really stops at like the early 2000s.
Yeah. You're influenced by Elvis too, right?
Fuck to the yeah, dude. Yeah. Elvis was the shit. He was the man, dude. And if you watch some of his interviews, it's so fucking cool how Tennessee artists so far apart in time relate to each other. Like, you see interviews of him, he's on the phone rolling his eyes like, what the fuck do these people want? You know? He's got a song called Dixieland. That's fucking cool. He was an artist who made his way into black music during a time where white boys weren't in that kind of music. Yeah. That's kind of what's going on right now with country rap. Yeah, for sure. There's interviews of him where they're like, why do you have 4 Cadillacs? And he's like, because I like Cadillacs. And they're like, do you dress up in a tuxedo and drive through town? He's like, no, I fucking do it in blue jeans and boots, man. Like, he was just so cool. He was so normal. Yeah. Speaking of Elvis, do you kind of feel where he's coming from probably back in the day as far as the popularity goes and dealing with, it's worse now because of social media. Sure. But do you kind of relate to him in that way too? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like
popularity and how he dealt with like not crazed, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. I definitely smoke way more weed now than I've become like this because, you know, and people always wonder, they're like, yeah, please, sir. People always wonder like, oh, this person's being an asshole. Like you hear stories about Elvis being a jerk. It's like, hey man, maybe Elvis just wanted 5 minutes to himself, you know? Yeah. And people don't realize that until you're living in the madness, you can't comment on the madness. Like a kid the other day, he's like, why the fuck are you starting to act like every popular celebrity? I said, you be famous for almost a decade, then come talk to me.
Yeah. I wanted to ask when it came on is, where were you at? Where was your fan base level at when you decided to throw music at them?
It was pretty low.
Was it?
I think I was still in the hundreds of thousands when that happened. That was in 2015, like he said.
Yeah.
So it was still super low, really.
When we cut our interview in 2015, I wanted to say you were talking about you just got 250,000 followers on Instagram or something like that. Mm-hmm. So that would have made sense around that time frame.
Yeah, it was in the low hundreds of thousands.
Which is still dope, but compared to now, it's a
I think it's grown to where I believe now I'm probably more known for music than I am the videos.
For sure.
Now,
at least. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I was curious when you flipped that switch and made that move. Was it full steam ahead on the music solely, or
full steam ahead?
Gotcha.
Everything music, bro.
Yeah.
I drove my producer Stoner. I probably drove him crazy. What up, Stoner?
Yeah, shout out Stoner, man. We gotta get him on here too. That'd be dope to get you and him on some stuff too, like doing some stuff like that. Talk about shit like that.
Stoner's cool shit.
Yeah. It's cool. I got to meet him last couple weeks ago, finally, and it was cool to meet up with Stoner for sure.
Hell yeah.
So like influences, so let's go like for rap. What like some of your influences for rap? What would you say some of those would be when you were doing like rap records?
Man, dude, Hobson.
Yep.
Eminem, obviously. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the guy who brought us on the music. That's like the first rapper I fucking heard of. Really, one of the first ones. The first rapper I ever heard of was 50 Cent.
You used to Get Rich or Die Trying was your first album, right?
Yep. Yeah, dude. That shit was awesome. Roy Jones Jr., that's like the first album.
Bro, yeah. When you was talking to Adam 22 and he was like, I didn't know he did, when he had the, y'all must have forgot. He had that song. He had that song, bro.
And what's cool is, I mean, dude, Roy Jones Jr. was a fucking chicken fighter too. My grandfather has pictures with Roy Jones Jr. at Oscar Aiken's house holding roosters. Because that's what he did, bro. That's why Roy Jones Jr. is always making rooster analogies.
Yeah.
Because that's what he done. So he was a fucking redneck motherfucker too.
That's so dope.
Super dope.
Yeah, for sure. So we can talk about social media. So
yeah.
How do you see, like, since you've been so big on the social media end of things, alongside of the music and stuff, since you started to get steam and traction, how have you seen it change over these last 6 years? The goods, the bads, you know what I'm saying?
Social media itself?
Yeah, just in general, yeah. I mean, you can do certain examples if you want, just kind of seeing, since you're so, like, high up on those as far as numbers-wise and things like that, how do you look at social media now? Like, you know what I mean? Like, have you seen it change, good, bad?
It has definitely changed a lot. Like, that's the thing. Like, now it's going to be harder to be famous because you have so many people who are famous for 2 weeks that it really covers up people who are famous for a long time. Like, and I truly believe that when I got into social media and the people all around, not just around me, but like in that little time, everyone who got famous then is going to be stuck famous forever because at the beginning of every trend, all those people in the beginning are always stay stuck famous. And I feel like everybody who's in the beginning of social media making the videos and stuff, I feel like they're going to be famous forever. But I feel like it's going to be way harder to be famous now.
Yeah.
And then, you have so many duplicates now that are just able to throw something up, which is fine. That's good because that's how you find these really unique artists, but it also covers up those really unique artists because everybody's a rapper, everybody's an Instagram model, everybody's you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I figured like with the social media too, and I know there are goods and bads, but like everything that you said makes perfect sense too. But I noticed too that like since then, obviously, it's gotten more hectic for you, I'm sure, because you've gotten bigger since then. So obviously that comes with it. Good and bad, but I know that you try to separate sometimes from it too. You almost have to.
100%. You have to. Social media will drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta think, dude. People back in the day, like Kurt Cobain and all them, like, people that killed themselves back then, dude, imagine the stress of it now.
Yeah.
Now you can't even fucking shit or walk outside your house and fucking go to the car wash without people being like, oh, I know where he's at. And dude, when you're hounded like that all the time, that is really bad for your mental state.
I'm sure it's crippling, man. Like we talked about last night. Yeah.
Yeah, and social media is like a fucking drug now. So some people can't put it down.
Yeah.
Or they'll go nuts too. Or keep slowly going nuts from being on it. You know? And I think that the younger generation is going to have way more of an issue getting away from that versus us. All of us went outside and played army and climbed trees and walked around the fucking neighborhood doing
Used
shit.
our imagination for stuff.
Yeah, running from dogs. Sure. Now, fuck, from sun up to sundown, there's some kids who don't even go outside to even see the sun.
I know a few.
Yeah, and that kills imagination. It kills, it kills all kind of shit. It just makes your brain like this mush.
Yeah.
So with the social media, do you read the comments? Do you get fed up in that? Do you get into that? Did you stop doing that at a certain point? Do you occasionally entertain
I stop in spurts.
Right.
I'll sit there, and that's the fucked up thing about it is you could read 1,000 comments that are good, that are encouraging, that uplift you, and you'll see one asshole comment from fucking some asshole in Arizona, and you'll be like, fuck that guy, and it'll ruin the rest of your day. But I've learned to not even let it. Like, I'll figure out, like today, like every dude every male who comments something assholeish to me, I'll just put you, beta, me, alpha, and leave it at that.
Yeah.
And it gives them not the satisfaction of what they want because I'm not going to see it no more. They're going to keep fucking typing Harry Potter books while I'm out riding four-wheelers with my old lady.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of that too, I know that's probably stressful too. Like when y'all are just trying to go out and have some time to yourself, and then it's kind of. I know some people don't mean bad or harm by it, but there's, like you've said before, there's a way to go about those things, and there's a time and a place for that stuff.
Of course.
Right.
And mine's so broad that I'm like, why doesn't anybody understand? Hell, I've gotten online 500 times and said, you can meet me anywhere besides my house. And I'm cool with it. And I go out by myself. I mean, don't worry, I ain't gonna shoot nobody. This is the only security I have with me when I go somewhere. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't mind meeting people out in public. It's just don't come to my fucking house. And when it comes to relationships, this is especially extraordinary for my current girlfriend because that's somebody I dated when I was 17, 18 years old.
Yep.
So she knew me when I was broke, wearing fucking ugly clothes, only had $20 for gas that night.
Yep.
And now that we're together now, she's like, yo, your life is effing crazy. But I can trust her to not leave me. She's one of those ones that she's down to get in the groove with me because she's known me for so long. So
and she knew you before all this.
100%. Yeah. I was driving to her house, fucking sneaking in her window, driving there in a shitty ass rusted out Ford Midnight, dude. Like, and she was riding with me, no radio, no AC, no nothing.
She wanted to be with you.
If she can ride in the junk, she can ride in the Lambo, bro.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope shit.